distinction of being one of only a few graduates of Notre Dame to be recognized as an all-Catholic and Section 5 all-league selection. Earning 11 varsity letters in 4 sports, he led Notre Dame during their Section 5 transition to their first ever sectional titles in both football and baseball. In his junior and senior baseball campaigns, he was named tournament MVP with a combined season record of 13-3 and an ERA of 1.55. A college graduate of Marietta, Tom, a father of 3 ND graduates, is currently co-owner of Service News and the business manager at Notre Dame High School. Please welcome Tom Rapone.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be included tonight for this tremendous honor. Anyone who knows me or my family understands how important Notre Dame is to all of us. I would also like to congratulate the other inductees. It certainly is an impressive group, and to be recognized tonight along fellow LeBroyan and personal friend Tom McCulley is an added bonus. While at Notre Dame, everything I participated in was a team sport, and that often overused saying that there's no I in team is actually quite true. Nothing can be accomplished without great teammates and coaches. And while at Notre Dame, I was fortunate to be surrounded by the very best. It is easy to look good when you play along with great players like Pete McQuillan, Phil Pangrazio, Jimmy DeLaura, Michael Francis, John Stisser, and David Sutherland, to name just a few. I had the good fortune to have played for many great coaches and assistants at ND, but there are 2 that I would like to acknowledge in a special way tonight. From Coach Jim Zalaka, I learned all about pride, preparation, and perseverance. He was proud to have been a player at Notre Dame under Coach Flowers, and he was an integral part of our only Manhattan Cup championship team. He prepared us to play every game with the same effort and enthusiasm, regardless of our record. This ultimately paid off as he coached a team that was in last place one year to a 19-3 record and appearance in the Section 5 Class C title game the next. I'm proud to say that I was part of his first team and his first coaching victory. And I'm so glad he took the time from his busy schedule to be here tonight. Coach Bill Sutherland was easily the most important and influential person for me during my time at Notre Dame. Like Coach Zalaka, he was an ND athletic legend himself, and I quickly realized that he was intense but fair, and that as long as you gave your best effort, you would never experience one of his legendary meltdowns. Some coaches are great motivators, and some are great in-game strategists. Coach Sutherland was both. He could coach you up in confidence in practice, and then deliver a pregame pep talk that would have you ready to run through the wall for him. I also watched in amazement at times when he coached circles around some of the great baseball coaches in the Bishop Smith League. He always has been and continues to be more than just a coach, but a friend. My old teammates and even his son Billy tease me all the time that I'm one of his favorites. I hope that's true, because he's certainly one of mine. A big thank you goes to Notre Dame, just for being Notre Dame. That special place we all love. The Notre Dame experience is unique and all-encompassing. It is not just sports. It's not just academics. It is everything. It's a true family and the ultimate high school experience. As a student-athlete, I can't imagine a better place for anyone than Notre Dame. In every sport, you play for legendary coaches, and no one in our area can come close to matching our number of league, sectional, and state championships across such a wide variety of sports. As a Notre Dame athlete, you are playing to continue that great winning tradition. And when you put on that blue and gold, it really means something. You experience so many customs and traditions that are uniquely Notre Dame. The shiny gold helmets, the pregame mass in the chapel, the Saturday afternoon football games, the tiny gym, that's so loud and intimidating that our boys basketball team has won 61 consecutive home games. The memorare, the fight song, the list goes on and on. As an athlete, you love to play in big games, and in Notre Dame, that happens all the time. Every time you get your opponent's best effort, because regardless of how good our team is, a win against Notre Dame can make an opponent's season. As a competitor, you love that. It's the best environment to compete in, and I thank Notre Dame for that opportunity. This honor tonight, like anything good that has ever happened to me, would not have been possible without the love and support of my family. My 3 wonderful children are the center of my life, and I'm so proud of each of them. My sisters, Corrine and Michelle, are the heart and soul of our family, and they keep all of the Rapone and Mesiti traditions alive, as well as keeping alive the memory of our parents. I don't remember my mother, but by being around my beautiful sisters all these years, I have a pretty good idea of how wonderful she must have been. And a dream come true for any young boy that loves sports is to have older brothers that share that same passion. And I had that. My brother Rick is confident and the ultimate competitor. He played college basketball at 5'7" like if he was 6'7". I've never backed down from any challenge. I've never seen him lose at anything in life, and I know I never will. I'm sure everybody here tonight knows my brother Mike. To me and so many other former and current Notre Dame students, he is Notre Dame. He loves every kid in Notre Dame. He respects every kid in Notre Dame. And he would do anything for any kid in Notre Dame. And has been that way for 30 years. Growing up on Woken Street in Leroy, it was easy to see that Mike would end up being the coach. And I obviously could not have realized it at the time. But I had the great advantage of being coached in my own backyard by the best coach in the history of Section 5. My final and biggest thanks goes to my father. I know that God has never created a perfect man, but if my dad had any faults or flaws, I never saw any of them. There was no problem he couldn't solve, no mistake he couldn't correct, no epic screw-up of mine he couldn't magically undo with just a phone call or his endless knowledge. His career came with incredible responsibilities, but no matter what, he was at every event at school and every sporting event I ever participated in. He was so dependable that I guess I began to take it for granted that he would always be there. And I didn't realize how much it meant for me, for him to be there for every little thing until he was gone, and he couldn't be there for anything. But he loved Notre Dame, and he loved ND athletics. He's so proud of Mike's successes, and that all 12 of his grandchildren have graduated from ND. He raised us boys to be team players and to always put the goals of the team first, with a logic that wins and championships last forever, while individual accomplishments quickly fade. Like everything else in life, he was, of course, correct. In preparation for tonight's event, I went upstairs at the school to our hallway of champions, where the photos of all the state championships hang across from the plaques of previous inductees. I was amazed as I looked at the names. Players I grew up watching and idolizing. Andy Vogel, Mark Francis, and Gino Oliveira. My favorites, of course, are my Leroy boys, Carl Sims, Tommy McGrath, and Mike McCullough. And after tonight, there'll be a few more. Then I looked at the very first name on the very first plaque from the very first year, and I saw my dad's name. At that moment, I realized how big of an honor this truly is. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would be considered worthy to share any honor or recognition that included him. But one thing I know for sure, he's proud as hell tonight. Thank you very much, and go ND.